Welcome everyone to oldtacosandgeeks.com, and this is the 4th of July here in the States, so I figured why not do a retro game look back at Independence Day for the PlayStation 1. When Independence Day landed on the PlayStation in 1997, it came trailing the box office smoke of Roland Emmerich's 1996 blockbuster film Independence Day. While the film offered an explosive spectacle and a heavy dose of patriotic bravado, the game's adaptation sought to translate that cinematic energy into aerial combat experience. What we got, however, was a mixed bag, ambitious in concept but grounded by technical and design limitations. And I remember renting this from Blockbuster, and I was just very frustrated and disappointed. But let's talk a little bit first about the story because the narrative in Independence Day is loosely based on the events of the film. It places players in the cockpit as a pilot in the Earth Space Defense Force fighting back against the alien invaders that are ravaging iconic cities across the globe. And the story progression from mission to mission, echoing key moments from the movie Washington D.C., the Grand Canyon, Area 51, while never offering any of the film's characters or drama or emotion. There are no voice acting from the film stars and little effort to connect you from the personalities of Captain Hillard, David Levinson, and President Whitmore. The plot is more of a backdrop than a driver, serving as a series of level briefings rather than immersive experiences. So, if you're looking for a straight up adaptation of the movie to game form, you're going to be heavily disappointed here. However, how does the gameplay play? The core gameplay is structured as a mission based third person flight combat simulator. You take to the skies in a fighter jet, often tasked with defending bases, taking down alien shield generators, or destroying the mothership's key components. On paper, it promised thrilling dogfights and towering alien crafts. In practice, gameplay was repetitive, quick. And I mean, after the second mission, missions often follow similar paths: fly, dodge, shoot, destroy key targets, return to base. While the game offered a large amount of number of missions and aircraft choices, the variety in objectives was limited and the pacing suffered as a result. Not to mention that you also had to finish the mission on a timer, otherwise, the aliens would have destroyed the city, and due to the clunky controls, which I'll get into, made this game very, very difficult to play. I had to use a cheat code in order to actually enjoy this experience. The game featured branching missions based on performances, which ambitious for the time, success or failure could lead to different locations or outcomes, adding some replay values. Still, the lack of mission diversity diluted what could have been a more dynamic experience. Now, in terms of the flight controls, like I was alluding to, flight controls in Independence Day leaned more into the arcade than sim, but unfortunately, it lacked the fluid responses of other dogfighting games of that era, such as Colony Wars or Ace Combat. Piloting was stiff, unrefined, and while turning and aiming that could be sluggish, especially during high speed evasive maneuvers, the targeting system also struggled with the 3D space, often making it difficult to track enemies or align with objects effectively. In an age before the twin stick control scheme, where standard Independence Day relied heavily on the D pad and shoulder buttons for a pitch and yawn, which made flight dated, and even upon release, dogfights could quickly become frustrating due to the imprecise maneuvering and unpredictable enemy AI. And sometimes, like I said, that timer will go out. The enemy AI will become very just the difficulty will just spike up out of nowhere. And not to mention some, just like the movie, the aliens had the shields as well. And it was very frustrating to play and just get through. And just even navigating the maps, it was just a very difficult, annoying, frustrating experience. But graphically, visually, I would say Independence Day showcased the PS1's limitations more than its strengths. The environments were large but bland, with boxy buildings and lack of texture details. Grounded structures were flat, cities felt empty, obviously. I mean, it's the PlayStation 1. And the skyboxes were repetitive. The alien ships were large and visually distinct, mirroring their movie's counterparts, but they lacked much animation or dynamic movement. Explosions were frequent but underwhelming, especially compared to the film's iconic city destroying blast, and you really only see that if you lose the aliens powering up and everything else. Frame rate drops were common in busy scenes, especially when there were more enemies on the screen. And still, for fans of the movie, seeing familiar locations, especially New York, was my favorite level. Just to be able to drive to ride the plane in my city near the Statue of Liberty, it was a sight to see. Now, as far as the sound goes, the game reused elements of David Arnold's sweeping film score, including the main theme, which helped evoke the movie's patriotic energy. But the music cues were arguably the best part of the sound design. Unfortunately, the rest of the audio was forgettable. Gunfire and missile effects were repetitive and lacked punch, while the absence of voice acting left the missions feeling very sterile. While no chatter from wingmen or enemy taunts, the world felt quiet and disconnected, and it was a far cry from the bombastic soundscape of the film. At launch, when it came out, Independence Day received mixed to negative reviews. Critics praised the ambition and faithfulness to the film's spirit, but pointing out glaring flaws in execution. Repetitive missions, clunky controls, and dated visuals kept it from soaring. Magazines like Electronic Gaming Monthly and GamePro, shout out to GamePro, we miss you, called out its shallow gameplay and uninspired designs. Fans of the movie might have found value in the novidity, but most gamers quickly moved on to more games that had deeper flight combat. Independence Day for the PlayStation 1 is largely forgotten and an example of the limitations of hardware, rushed development cycles, often doom movie tie-ins of the era. While not unplayable, it's failed to make a lasting mark, especially when compared to genre standouts like Ace Combat 2 or Warhawk at the time. Man, do you guys remember Warhawk? Man, Warhawk. That was man, I remember that game. I might have to do a video on that one. So, folks, with that being said, you know how I do when I usually do a flashback review or a flashback retrospective. Let's play a mission in Independence Day. All right, it's time to play the New York level or try to play the New York level of Independence Day. So we are going to be just showing you a little bit of what the enemies look at their strengths, their speed, their durability, their stealth, and the satellite uplinks that aliens are using. So our mission is to basically destroy these uplinks and let's try to survive the New York level here. And already the controls, oh my god, it's bringing me back how difficult and annoying this was. I was so disappointed when I rented this from Blockbuster, guys. Like, I had high hopes for this because the way the marketing was, it was like, oh, I was a big ID4 fan, so this was just like peak, like the hype, but it just did not translate well. I think I got one down. And the thing is, you don't really, it's so hard to dodge. You don't know, because these enemies just come out of anywhere, and you don't know. It's hard to shake them when they're hitting these bogeys at you. Target lock, good, got one down. Oh, there's Lady Liberty over there. Oh, damn, I am getting lit up here. And there's no, and the lack of music is just like, it just feels so bland. Bogey lock. All right, I got destroyed 4 uplink combo. I just want because it's the uplink. Oh, damn! Should have shot my missiles, but I could not. The controls are so clunky. Go down. Thank you. There we go. Alright, let's fire. Damn. Oh! Come on! Yo, this is so frustrating. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Woo! Damn! Caught me. Guys, I don't think I'm gonna survive this. I got 12 minutes to destroy these uplinks before the aliens attack. But I am getting swarmed by enemies here. I haven't destroyed one uplink yet, but it's so hard to navigate with the controls that they implemented here. I'm gonna go up here. Ooh! Damn! Come on, come on, come on. Blinder, come on. That blinder impact is mad annoying. Come on, let's do this. Come on. Craziness. Man, if I can just get the hang of this again. Whoa! Oh, hey, hey, look, I got 5 missiles from that. Alright, let me take this guy out. I'm not gonna make it. My health is low. At least I got 4 kills. I'm not gonna make it. Oh! Darn it. No, 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 no. No! No! Alright, folks. That's it. I'm not playing this no more. This is Justin from OtakusandGeeks.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This has been a look back at Independence Day. Later days, my friends.